somewhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of the Local Show here on GrassRoots Community Network. I'm Eric Scarvin, your host. Thanks, guys, for joining us this week. We're each week here in snowy Aspen, Colorado. We feature inspirational locals, and this week will not be an exception, guys. A friend who just returned recently from Haiti. She's the co-founder of Haiti Children. My good friend Susie Krabacher and her doggy Floyd is here.
Mr. Floyd.
We've had your doggy Strogue in the past.
Strogue's been here. This might be Floyd's been here once before.
Yeah, I thought Floyd had had one appearance, so he's you know, becoming a wily TV veteran, and he's just chilling out. Is he related to Strogue, your other dog, or
no,
they're not related?
No, but he's my personal weapon, you know.
Look, he's a weapon of mass love.
Right.
Look at him. He's like, I'll give you unconditional kisses all day for Valentine's. So happy Valentine's Day,
Thank
Susie.
you.
It's
I
also
dressed up for
Valentine's.
you.
I love it. I love it. And welcome back. You just got back about a week ago from Haiti. And we're going to talk quite a bit about that. I wanted to start, though, with something. You have such an amazing life story. And, you know, as a kid, you had some challenges, you know, with abuse. And, you know, your story's on the website, HaitiChildren.org, if people want to kind of find out about you. There's been a book written. There's been an off-Broadway production about your life. You would later go on to explore the world of Playboy and be employed by them. And then you would go on to find this greatest joy in your life, you know, helping these kids in Haiti. And what's interesting about that is there was kind of a focus, you know, kind of in your earlier years, you know, when you were, I guess, an adult, early adult years, on this kind of outer beauty, you know, and this, and which you still radiate,
Thank
you know,
you.
each day, and you know, and I think you even radiate more because you also have the inner beauty. And I wanted to talk about that kind of that relationship because, you know, developing outer beauty and is kind of, you know, something we all do, you know, some of us
Especially here.
Yeah, especially in Aspen where it's a lot about, you know, looks and, you know, superficiality. I hate to say it that way. You know, and a lot about appearances, you know. But you built that inner beauty and that inner joy. And can you kind of talk about that, like compare and contrast, you know, kind of that part of your life, you know, earlier on when you were probably in your 20s, I imagine, versus now in this kind of developing inner beauty?
Well, I would rather be me now than me then.
Yeah.
To start with, I was probably the most insecure person in the world because it was all about, you know, everything in my life was based on how I looked, what jobs I could get because of how I looked, but there's always someone much prettier, and it's very competitive in that world.
Yeah.
I just did a documentary called Secrets of Playboy, and it's actually it started out as a 10-series documentary, and it's now up to a 12-series documentary.
Okay.
I highly recommend that you watch it. It talks a lot about that issue, and it goes very, very deep. I never felt secure in my body or myself in that world. It was something that I did partially because I was insecure and I needed that validation. But this part of my life, which now literally half of my life has now been spent serving others, and has absolutely nothing to do with that superficial world at all. Although, you know, I get to, thank God, we do have some celebrities that support Haiti Children, and I'm so blessed that, you know, I get to be around people like that. But this to me is, I love my job so much, and I don't even understand why I love it, because I never really wanted to have children. I didn't think I could have children, and all of a sudden I am like the mom, a serious mom, to 119 children. And that does not include the children that we've lost due to their diseases or disabilities. You know, that doesn't include them. And I have never met anyone since I started doing this that I envy anymore, because I feel so blessed to do this job.
Seems like you found your God-given purpose.
Who would have ever thought? From Playboy to that? I mean, how did that happen? It's definitely something that God...
Someone's got to get the credit for that.
It was a trick.
Yeah. Well, it was also interesting because you didn't look at Haiti right away. You were looking like up in Russia. Mongolia, yeah.
Ulaanbaatar.
But then the path was kind of, it was kind of twisty and turny, but God shows us the way. I think if we have that belief, and that's a whole nother show. But the faith is the backstop.
When you said that, I knew you were going to say that today, because you always do. So I was going to say this. It's living like you believe in God.
Yes.
Living as if He exists.
Right.
I wrote that down.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
Because it just gives you so much more strength.
I know.
It's like your foundation, your base, your core is all about that.
We have the unbearable burden of knowing as Christians that we cannot protect ourselves against the things that are going on in this world right now. We know that. But having faith and living as if you are not the perpetrator of good or evil, but you are you get the benefits of a loving God, is like so amazing. I just literally was running from gunfire in Haiti with my children, and when we stopped running and realized that 4 people were shot and killed, and we looked at each other, and the first thing my kids did was pray. I thought, wow, I've done a good job here. I've done a good job here.
That's incredible. I mean, it's so powerful. And I think that's one of the themes I'd like to come out of this show, with you today, is that power of faith. It's driven your life. It's driven my life. But it's not easy. It's like, people want proof. They want just physical, tangible evidence of everything. And, we've got science, but science doesn't, obviously, has shown it doesn't have all the answers. We keep finding out about new things. Mm-hmm. But the faith, I think, it's something that can be developed. It's like you practice. It's like yoga for me. It's a practice. It's ongoing. Mm-hmm. You're not going to reach perfection, nor should you expect it. Mm-hmm. But if you practice your faith and you keep seeing how things work, there's a system, and you keep moving forward.
There's some things that aren't explainable.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So an example is, near-death experience. When your brain's dead, how are you seeing these things? I have a child, his name is T. David, which means little David, and he's actually 24 now. And he was, I was told, a vegetable. And we had this conversation with my doctors from the time I got him when he was 2 until one day, after getting him at 2, at the age of 14, he just started speaking. And you know what the first thing he said was, because he had been listening to our conversation, "I'm not a vegetable."
That's unbelievable. I mean, that seems miraculous.
He said it in Creole. "I'm not a legume. I'm not a vegetable."
Unreal.
He had been hearing us the whole time, but yet he registered no brain activity. How do you explain these things?
And shows what's possible. If you keep trying, if you keep caring, if you keep loving and nurturing the kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
it's
now,
really
I mean, my gosh, the kid is. He gets him. He's got cerebral palsy as well as one of his conditions, but he walks to church every Sunday, down the mountain by himself. And this kid was supposedly a vegetable, a brain dead vegetable.
How do you like to pray?
Oh, it's so fun. It's different for me now. I write it as I pray it.
Okay.
And I've realized that first thing is to thank God because I'm alive and that my children are alive and that I've got these kids who were literally thrown away in trash piles or left for dead in a morgue, some of my kids. they're now, you know, 2 of them are possibly going to be signed up for pro soccer leagues. One of them just played in Rugby World Cup in South Africa.
Oh my God.
I've just, you know, these kids, one's a preacher, one has his own radio show. I'm hoping you get to meet that one someday.
That would be awesome.
He reminds me of you. Except he's not your color. And so, you know, I pray to thank God. I pray more for other people now than I do for myself, because God already knows. You know, I ask him all the time for things, so he knows. And I realize you don't have to ask it every day.
Right.
He remembers. And I also know that I don't have to ask forgiveness for the same things over and over and over, because the minute you ask for forgiveness, he completely forgets it.
Right.
He says it in the Bible. Once you say it, I remember it no more. So, okay, I did that. I feel awful about that. If he can forget it, why would I keep reminding him about it? I don't pray like that anymore.
Yeah, even though God's really old, he doesn't suffer from memory loss, you know, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep reiterating
Exactly.
yourself and all that. So the thanks, I love that part, because that's how I start my prayer every morning when I wake up. It's thank you for another day. Thank you for another
Yes.
breath. You know, and this stuff is core stuff that helps us operate and navigate, right? And you're navigating literally scary waters, you know, and then and inland from the water when there's you know, gang violence that's just all time right now in Haiti.
And
Associated Press story in today's
today-
Aspen Daily News about sexual violence and how that's used as a threat and holds people down to where they won't even leave their
They
homes.
won't leave their homes.
They won't go on the streets.
My doctor quit 2 days ago because on the way to work in a boat, because she couldn't do the roads, they're all barricaded, this doctor got in a tiny boat, and the winds were so strong and the ocean was really rough. She said, I'm going to work anyway. She landed near our campus, and the gangs immediately took her hostage with everybody in the boat. And the first thing that they said, you know, was that she would be raped. And it's not just women, it's also the men. You know, this is a very demonic occupation of Haiti. I'm telling you, Eric, I have never seen, on this trip, I looked into the eyes of so many of these gang members walking on the streets, and they're dead. There's nothing there. I don't hate them. I would be seeking revenge if I thought that it was the human, but it's not. It's the evil that has taken over a lot of, you know, society, and it's really prevalent in Haiti. These people are no longer there. They're completely taken over by demonic possession. And I will tell you that the reason I know that is because, you know, my employees send me videos of what they see. And one of the videos, and if kids are watching, turn this off, or if you have a weak stomach, turn it off, was of a police officer who in our area near our school was beheaded in front of his family. His wife was made to watch while they opened his chest, removed his heart, and ate it in front of her.
Oh,
This
my gosh.
is the demonic things that are happening. And we are getting just a little glimpse of what that kind of activity looks like, and even in our own society. I don't know if anybody has watched recently the Sam Smith video, award-winning video, where he has literally got people drinking out of urinals as a satanic worship sort of thing. And we're giving awards to this kind of thing. I am really aware that we're getting anesthetized. I see a trauma therapist to manage some of my anxiety, and one of the things she says is you need to stop watching the videos that your employees are sending you. And I'm like, I cannot, because if they're seeing it, they need to know that I understand and exactly what I need to be praying for for them.
Right. Oh boy, that's a lot to process.
It's a lot,
you know,
I know.
and but we're going to focus the show on solutions, moving forward, how people can help, success stories like Victor, and some of the avenues that the kids are using to become the future leaders of Haiti.
I actually have some wonderful stories.
We've got some great news, and so we're going to take a quick break, our only break of the show, guys. I do want to thank our Windsor underwriters for making these special shows happen here on Valentine's Day 2023. We've got the City of Aspen, we've got Aspen Square, Haiti Children, Klug Properties, Red Brick Center for the Arts, White River Overland, Picken County Solid Waste Center, and of course Sundog Athletics. We'll be only gone for 2 minutes, guys, and we're going to be right back with some success stories with Haiti Children and how you can get involved, so don't go away.
Donate, shop, and save. The Mother Lode Mercantile, now open at the Picken County Landfill.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
White River Overland in Aspen specializes in camper van upfitting, catering to mountain dwellers and outdoor enthusiasts. WRO's builds are purpose-driven to facilitate and enhance skiing, cycling, camping, climbing, and river adventures. More information at whiteriveroverland.com. Providing exceptional service for over 50 years, Aspen Square features studio and larger condominiums for nightly rental with an ideal downtown Aspen location. They offer fully equipped kitchens, wood-burning fireplaces, and private balconies with full hotel-style services and gracious hospitality. Aspen Square is proud to support the local show. The Red Brick Center for the Arts is Aspen's hub for creative activity, offering youth and adult art classes, community rooms for rent, artist studios, nonprofit offices, lectures, events, and rotating exhibitions with artwork for sale. Come by to connect and be inspired. Learn more at redbrickaspen.com. Sundog Athletics, Aspen's adventure sports school and snowshoeing specialist since 1996, is your opportunity to experience private, all-inclusive snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, and fat biking instructional adventures that will immediately improve your safety, performance, and enjoyment. Like Sundog Athletics on Facebook for fresh updates, or explore sundogathletics.com.
Support for the local show comes from the City of Aspen. The Castle Creek Bridge is nearing the end of its lifespan, and the city is proposing an entirely new bridge as a safe and resilient solution. You can learn more about the bridge construction, transportation options, and in-person and online public events at castlecreekbridge.com.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
We're back here on the local show. Thanks for sticking with us. We've got the co-founder of Haiti Children, along with your husband, Joe Krabacher, who's not here, but Floyd is here. We're going to call him another co-founder.
He's my temporary Valentine.
He's your Valentine for the moment. So am I hope.
Of course you are. I messed up for you, right?
And we want to give a shout out to your hubby, Joe Krabacher.
My sweet Valentine. Yes.
He's saintly.
Oh gosh.
To be involved in this whole mission.
You have no
of
idea.
yours. But we've got a really uplifting video, Susie, and before we go into it, in fact, I'm going to let you talk about it afterwards. We're just going to check out this quick 2-minute video.
I've seen it. It's wonderful.
We'll be right back.
Victor!
so excited.
Goal! Goal! Goal to Victor! Victor! Victor goal! Victor goal! Goal to Victor!
I'm cooked.
You're what? What are you doing?
I'm just cook spaghetti
Okay.
for my mom and Victor.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, no, I won't be afraid. I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me.
So Victor scores the winning goal.
Yes.
I mean, that is so
And
exciting.
In the video, you hear me chat, 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 chat. I'm not even watching because I know nothing about soccer, right? And now I'm a huge soccer mom. And so the person sitting beside me said, "Victor, goal, goal." That's my kid. My kid scored the winning goal. And I'm like, and the coach, when he came off the field, he immediately came up to me and he's speaking in Spanish. We're in the Dominican Republic, and he started negotiating a contract with them immediately.
Wow.
I am telling you, and you know what the words that he said about my two boys? He said, and I know they defy gravity. I mean, these kids defy gravity. They are so good and nimble and quick. And he said, "I've never seen anything like this." He said, "You've done such a great job with them." I'm like, you know what? These kids they're in an orphanage. They don't have a lot to do. Since they were 4 years old, they've been sleeping with a soccer ball. It was the only thing that I could get them to get. When my kids come to me, oftentimes they're in shock because of abandonment, and Victor would not talk. It took a year for me, and the soccer ball was what got him talking. Finally,
Right.
he opened
Kind of the
up.
icebreaker.
Yes, and we have a soccer field at the campus, so all the kids that can play soccer every day from the time they can walk.
And so he's going to be playing at
Well,
like
so
a semi-pro level? Or?
It's a pro. It's a pro
It's
team.
pro.
The team that he tried out for is actually going to the Olympics.
Wow.
The only problem is the general manager called the next day and said, "We didn't realize we had already signed a contract that we can't break, so Victor won't get to be on this roster, but we want him." So I know and Kansas City Comets called about him and want him to try out. And so we just are working on visas and that sort of thing. But these kids are going to be famous. They're going to be supporting me.
Well, it should come full circle at some point, right? And when they're old enough
do you
and
know what the cutest
accomplished.
thing was? When Victor knew that he was getting this contract, he wanted to make sure that I knew that he was going to support all the other kids that didn't get to leave the orphanage, you know, and I just thought that's just precious.
It's so
Just
heartwarming.
precious. I know, and
So unselfish.
so
you know?
unselfish. And the minute that we, realized that the kids might be leaving the orphanage, we had to get in the car and drive back to San Domingo. It was about an hour drive. And they were quiet, and I was wondering why they weren't, like so happy and everything. I looked back, and he was crying. And I said, "What's wrong with you?" And he says, "I don't know if I can leave the kids."
Oh.
he's never not been with his 120 brothers and sisters, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And I
now
said-
this is a choice.
I said, now look, you're going to be making money. You can fly back and see them anytime you want.
There you go.
It's a 20-minute plane ride.
And
You go
help him
back-
out.
Yes.
And help him out. He'll have the power to help him out
Because
financially.
his job at the orphanage has been to take care of the disabled children and, you know, put them in wheelchairs or carrying them on his back to the outside gazebo every day. So, you know, he's their strength, their carrier, their legs. So he says, who's going to take my place?
That's incredible. I mean, that obviously reflects on you guys and what kind of values, morals and values you're instilling, faith that you're instilling in these kids. And so there's athletics, there's music, there's sewing, there's these
Computer
different avenues that you
science.
guys are teaching the kids where they can be the future leaders. They can gain success. They can become independent. And then they can
Absolutely.
even help the other kids who are still there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How can people help? Like, what's the best way?
Well,
Like,
right now, Eric, we're under a real security crisis. We are looking at possibly evacuating the children from where they are because of the constant gunfire. And if we do that, it's going to be by boat. It's going to be costly. And I just hope everybody that's watching, you know, we're so blessed, but there are some people that are out there who absolutely can't survive without our helping them right now. And our employees show up to work every day knowing that they may not get to go home, and they get paid by us, the donors, and they do that because they need to make a living. And they also love our children as their own. And if anybody really, really wants to make a difference in this world, start with the kids.
Yeah.
Start with the kids. And we really need the help. We just got 2 new babies this year, and we're going to be raising them to be little superstars too, and they're perfect. Somebody didn't want them, and you know, now that they're wanted by hundreds, if not thousands, of supporters that, you know, help us. So it's really important that people do help us, because otherwise we can't afford to keep bringing these abandoned children in and raising them and giving them a great education so that they do learn computers and they grow up to be superstars. We've got one that's got his own radio show in Haiti. We've got one that's a pastor in Haiti. We've got one studying to be a nurse. We have one that wants to be a policeman, even though she just saw a policeman be assassinated right there 30 yards away. And you know, these people are going. People think that Haiti doesn't have hope. That's the hope, these children. And same here in our country.
it's so inspiring, you know, to hear these success stories, to hear how strong they are, but that they do need help. And it's as dire as it's ever been,
Yes.
probably in Haiti's history right now. It's
Never
so
seen
violent.
it. Never seen it like this.
Associated Press story today in the Aspen Daily News about sexual violence and how that's used. What I like to go when I go to HaitiChildren.org is there's so many ways you can find to donate. And I like Sammy's clinic because I've got a
Yes.
dog named Sammy.
Yes, yes.
So I would suggest, and it feels good, like, and as cliche as it and corny as it sounds, when you give and help, it brings happiness. And I just feel
does,
it.
and it comes back. It doesn't go out there and not come back to you. Some people call it karma. I call it blessing.
Yeah.
And
So
by the way, thank you for, I saw you donated today.
just a little something, and it just,
Thank you.
you know, and it does make me feel good, and I can do it in my dog's name, which makes me even feel better. But I want to thank you and Floyd for
Thank
being here
you.
today. We're out of time. I did
I want
make
my
you cookies.
I want my cookies.
There's a little extra surprise in there too for Valentine's Day.
What?
So thank you, Susie Krabacher, for
you.
being here. Thank you for all you do.
Oh, thank you.
It is just so meaningful and so
Thanks
loving.
for always having us on.
It's my pleasure.
God
Couldn't have
bless.
thought no better way to spend a Valentine's Day. And thank you guys, and happy Valentine's Day.